created Rise as the last thing.
Well, Jackson was taken, Twisted Fate moved away as well, away from Nuke, and there is the Rise ban, and we see LeBlanc, the only one that's now got through these picks, the bans, and is going to feature as the first pick for Millenium. So Curb going to go back onto that Assassin in the mid lane.
So we need to see if Curb is so good on LeBlanc that it was worth it for NIP to ban it out in the first few games. Obviously, it was Millenium banning it in the last game, but still, we need to see now it's first picked. The two late game monsters from Kevin are now gone. NIP though, they actually decided to pick the entire bottom lane here. Lucian is a very strong pick for them. And of course, Leona has been the one for Miffy, except for one game where she replayed it and actually had a very good game. So I like this Leona login, they have the engage ready, and they actually don't even care about the Kha'Zix. They give it over to Millenium.
Yep, Cornex's gonna get that one here as well. And well, we see Irelia locked in for this top lane for Kevin. We've seen Zora0 already bringing out a couple of games in a row. Of course, they had Rise both those times in Millenium. This time around, it's going to be Kevin that has that Irelia, and there are the lock-ins. So, LeBlanc, Kha'Zix, Irelia, the first three picks from Millenium.
And again, it's fun to see also how NIP prioritizes their bottom lane so heavily, even though there's a lot of options, both AD carry and support-wise. They didn't go for Kha'Zix, didn't go for Irelia for Zora0, something I expected them to do. But again, they feel like this Shyvana pick here for Zora0 is gonna be enough. And Irelia, she's strong late game, but she doesn't bring the same amount of pushing power as a Jax here. So it should be easier for Zora0 to handle this Irelia. And then at the same time, locking in Evelynn. We've seen a bit of hit or miss from Evelynn. Yeah. I mean, he's been shut down, but also been doing fairly well. Roberto in his game, in game 2, had a lot of good ganks early on. He can try and do the same here.
Are we gonna see this Karma support locked in? Actually, we've been seeing, a few games of Karma here and there. Not a champion really that J-Reed's played a whole lot so far this year. And it looks like actually we'll be switching away more towards Morgana. Of course, Graves, we've seen already that Creaton will play that one without too much hesitation, and Morgana possibly going to come in as well for J-Reed.
So again, a bit of the same comp here from Millenium. Very strong in the late game once again. Good laning phase all around for them. Irelia's a little bit weak in the early game, but so is Shyvana, so they should go even against each other. I think Millenium is going to be very happy with the comp they picked up here, and it's going to be very scary going into the late game. And we've seen it before with Morgana against Leona. Once you get to the team fights, it can be hard for me to land a stun onto the right targets. Or J-Reed could also be too slow on his Black Shield, like he actually was in the very last fight.
And we see the final pick here for NIP is Zed for Nuke.
I like this.
And he didn't waste any time getting that one locked in. Gonna be playing Zed up against the LeBlanc of Curb.
So, early on in the lane, LeBlanc should have the advantage, being able to put a lot of damage onto Zed here. Of course, he's melee. Can farm a bit with his Q, but well, if you want to get all the CS, if you want to trade with LeBlanc, he needs to get in the face, and that's obviously so advantage to LeBlanc early. But going into late game, that's where Nuke, once he picked up like the Blade-Thrown King, for instance, their Brutalizer, the Last Whisper, he will actually, or should be able to duel this LeBlanc here and actually even kill her. We could see an early Hourglass from Curb to try and stop Nuke from doing anything towards him. And then obviously Nuke is just going to focus on moving elsewhere on the lane, on the map. And it's a lot easier for Zed to kill an Irelia compared to killing a Jax. So once again, it paid off for them that they banned away Jax and Rise. So now they got Irelia for Kevin here. This is where they really need to shine and shut him down.
And we've got to talk about the late game, because it's gone there every single game. Okay, game number 1 was a little bit shorter, but these last 3 games have all gone the distance, and maybe even you'd argue further than the distance really should have gone. I mean, basically 2 games given away so far that probably shouldn't have been won by the team that won.
Again, the team play, the coordination has been a bit off for some of them. They're all very good players, but you can't make these crucial mistakes here, and both teams actually managed to punish the other team when they did it.
So here we go then, the deciding game between Millenium and the Ninjas in Pyjamas for the spot in the LCS Summer Split. Who's going to get it? Who's going to come out victorious in this one? Some interesting starting items here. Crystalline Flask for Curb. Doran Shield start for Nuke because of that early auto attack harass.
Yeah, early poke here. He wants to make sure he can always farm in the lane. Miffy with the same start. No items, just wards and then potions here on Leona. So we could see NIP try something in the early game. Try something here level 1. See if they can catch Millenium by surprise. Coming into late game though, as you said yourself, we need to talk about it. Teamfight wise, I really like Millenium's setup here, where Zed, it's hard for him to kill someone in the late game, but whoa, we need to be very careful here. Millenium is standing a lot of members around. Oh, the binding just missed.
Zoro, that wasn't dodged, that was literally, he was pacing back and forth, and luckily for him, he just clicked to go the other way as that binding comes flying through. That was incredibly close here. And you can see he's like, nope, don't want to stand in the tri-bush anymore. I'm going to back away to the red buff.
And for NIP's side here again, they have to do the same thing they've been doing the early games. They need to win early game. They need to get all the pressure there, then coming into the mid game. Because teamfight, late game wise, quickly touched on before the whole binding thing here towards Zoro. It's going to be so hard for Nukedog to kill a target when there's Zhonya's, when there's Quicksilver Sash onto multiple members here. And at the same time, the Kha'Zix late game, the Irelia late game in fights are both very strong. Of course, Shyvana is as well. Evelyn as well, but just not the same kind as a Kha'Zix, for instance. So I like the teamfight setup for Millenium late game more than I like NIP's. But it also depends on what items Millenium can actually pick up in time.
And there's NIP moving up, going to push Kerp out of position. The rest of Millenium are actually on the top side here. Are they going to actually try and close in on them? We see that Kerp is still inside of that brush, and here they are. They're going to come in. They've managed to land the dart binding on towards Mithy. They're going to force him to flash here, surely. Or will he just go down? One more auto attack will do it, and it's a first blood coming in for Irelia. Meanwhile, Cotton-X actually doing some good damage. Freeze will flash back towards that mid lane. Zoro should get out of this one as well, but first blood nonetheless goes to Millenium.
Terrible start by NIP. Such a smart move by Millenium. Waiting up here in the top brush and then moving down as soon as Millenium, or as soon as NIP moved for the blue buff. This should mean, or at least they want to go towards this red buff here. Multiple members from NIP trying to stop it. But Creaton is up in the top lane farming. Freeze is nowhere near. He's going to fall so far behind in XP.
They're actually going to force them away from that. We see the vote 75% of you voting for the Ninjas in Pyjamas after their Game 4 victory. We'll see.
Not an ideal start for them,
now.
however. Yeah, not a good start by NIP. Managed to defend the buff, but still they sacrificed a lot of early XP for Freeze up in the top lane. Dorito still level 1, helping out on the blue buff for Kha'Zix actually. He's going to join in now with Creaton.
Interesting, especially in that bottom lane as well. Irelia getting the ideal start, went back and picked up a long sword as well, so extra bit of damage coming out for Kevin. Meanwhile, Alberto, he's headed around here into the Millenium jungle to the red.
Going towards the room, he's actually going to pick up this red buff. Kha'Zix is very far away, so NIP going to get the advantage when it comes to buffs earlier on. Already got his own double buff, taking another one here. Cotton-X, only level 2, man. He's going to be pretty far behind early on here.
And I tell you what,
he can wait.
He needs to be really careful about this one. Alberto actually did decide to back off. Cotton-X just walks in. Damn it, my buff's gone. And he moves towards a race. Alberto fancying his chances. He's got a level advantage here on Cotton-X. Nukedog starting to move over as well. That is a lot of damage coming in. Flash walls up for Cotton-X, and he does get himself back, but Flash is now down. He lost his buff. He's lost the big wraith there as well.
So very good start by Cotton-X, or Alberto, sorry, shutting down Cotton-X very hard. He has forced a recall. Dorito, very good binding, getting some poke. Now Creaton going aggressive.
Oh, Mithy down to less than half HP. Couple of auto attacks from Creaton will force him to back away. Try and get some health back. Meanwhile, Alberto's just seen that ward go down from Kerp, so he knows, not do the Wraith because that will be doing full vision. Instead, he's going to clear out what was left of that red camp.
And we need to remember with Miffy up here in the top lane, with the full ward start, he doesn't have an item early on, so in a bit of a disadvantage. And Millenium using the XP advantage on Creaton, and also the fact that Miffy now is so weak here early on, to just bully them out of the lane. Look at Creaton, level 4, only level 3 on Freeze.
Fantastic job of that one. Doubles, yes, 32 to 14. That is a very strong start for Creaton in this 2v2 up in the top lane. Down in the bottom lane, the 1v1, 25 to 29 in favor of Zoro. We see a second Doran's Blade for Kevin on top of that longsword that he picked up after getting the first blood as well. So he's still a danger here.
Very dangerous, and he's going for this early game here with double Doran's Blades, so he can try and bully out Zoro. For now though, he's actually gonna be behind in farm once this wave comes into Zoro. He is at least doing a good job by Zoro's side, getting the farm he needs early on.
So Evelyn Let's see what Alberto can do about this one. Currently walking through the Millennium jungle, getting a fairly deep wall down over between the white and that blue buff camp, and he's now going to come straight up towards this top lane. Actually not spotted here, but because Millennium were headed back to recall anyway, I think he figured that he was maybe spotted from somewhere along there, and decides to go back on his way into his own jungle.
Although he's going to get level 6 before Cotnex, and that's where he can try and set something up. I like the ward he put up here, simply also to see if, first of all, is Cotnex there during the big wave? Can I try and go in and steal it? And then secondly, whenever he moved for the gank, he would know if Cotnex was moving as well, if there was a chance of a counter gank. So very good deep ward by him, by Alberto. Getting very far ahead in CS early on as well, jungle. He's going to be happy, getting the level 6, and then we can see if he can start.
Cotnex had a bit of a ropey start, that's for sure, losing out on that buff, having to use his flash and being bullied out of his own jungle by Alberto. As Kirby are going to go into Nuke. He has in fact used that death mark. Here comes Alberto. Manages to pop the passive there of Kurt, but not finish off the kill.
Very good move by Nuke though, dodging out of the ultimate from Kerb and then going straight towards him. Didn't take the damage, didn't get silenced, and then actually stopped his recall as well, forced him to go back here. It's going to take even longer. Alberto straight into the jungle, taking away more things from Cotnex.
Good stuff jungle-wise, but the AD carry duel is definitely in favour of Millennium and Creaturn up on this top side of the map. 50 to 29 CS, double Doran's Blade and a Vamp Scepter compared to the Vamp Scepter and a single Doran's Blade up until now. And here just trying to line those bindings for what would be then free damage coming out of Creaturn.
NIP needs help from Alberto. He's level 6 now, so he can actually start a gang up here. Of course, the Black Shield is going to make it harder. They need to really either bait it out or choose the right target. He's very far away, so the help is not going to be here for now. Creaturn can try and extend his lead even more. Notice how he's every single time Freeze moves over to try and last hit a minion, Creaturn moves with the minion and just hits him in the face. Every single time. No chance of Freeze to even reply back to Creaturn.
It is going to get pushed up here, although Cannon Minion going to slow things down for them. Again, there it is. Step forward from Creaturn. And as soon as he gets close, buckshot straight onto him, does it once again. I see Cotnex actually moving up. That ward that was put down earlier, just on that corner by Alberto, will actually spot Cotnex's position. Would have to be a full-on dive anyway if they were to do anything up on that top side of the map. Meanwhile, Nuke is going to go down towards the Wraith, spotted by the pink ward and the ward inside of the brush. Not really for the Wraith camp that he wants to go there, or to just get the vision down to see if he can catch out Cotnex moving around the side. First blue buff for the game here as well, donated over to Kerb.
So there's in game 2, where Alberto was playing Evelyn, we saw Millenium do the same thing with their pink boats. They put them very defensively, they don't want to put them too deep in. And now going on to Creaturn here, Black Shield is there.
And they turn around, they go straight for J Reeves, forced to flash straight out of that one, but Creaturn turning around here, Dark Binding doesn't quite land onto Mithy. If that had have landed, it could have changed how that fight actually went in the end, especially since Creaturn is level 6 now. Does have, of course, the Exhaust as a heal, as we are going to see Nuke going on towards Kerb. Exhaust used onto him though, pretty much misses everything, and that Death Mark not really doing much damage.
And Exhaust is such a good summoner spell against these assassins. I mean, you just remove so much of their damage, and that's why Kerb brings Exhaust in. So whenever Nuke goes towards him, Exhaust in your face, you're not going to kill me here, and I'm just going to continue farming and poke you. But he's falling behind in CS, also due to the fight we saw at level 6 between the mid laners, where Kerb was forced to recall, he fell even further behind. And bottom lane wise, they're actually fairly even now in form, but Sword Zero was far ahead beforehand. Alberto though going towards Kerb.
And he's got his flash back up, uses that one pretty much instantly. No death mark for Nuke. That's the problem with his combo in the mid lane. Not really any hard CC to lock down Kerb. Even if he doesn't have the flash, of course, has a distortion to just back away.
But as long as they put pressure on him, as long as they force him a bit back here, give some early pressure, early farm for Nuke so he can get to his Blade of the Rune King, his Brutalizer point, his last Whisper, where he can really start split pushing and kill people. That's the goal for him, and we see him now already with the Brutalizer. So in a straight up fight, as long as the Exhaust is not there, he got a lot of damage. But look here, Alberto coming towards top lane again.
This is bad news for Jerry. He of course uses flash in that last encounter. Mithy gonna come into this one. Razi gonna throw down the ultimate, doesn't even need to. Jerry does go down in the end. The culling from Freeze is actually what gets him the kill. Here's the response from Millenium though, straight to Dragon.
Straight towards the Dragon here, so NIP actually trade a kill for Dragon. definitely worth it for Millenium, except for the fact that Freeze fell so far behind in the lane. They actually had to do this move because they needed to give him some time, needed to give him a kill and some time to farm, otherwise he would just fall so far behind. So they had to trade away a kill and some farm on Freeze for the Dragon to Millenium.
Leaves Millenium 1,000 gold up in this matchup, and there's some damage onto Cortex, just stopping him from going back. The chain's actually missing. He uses his ultimate here to get a bit more damage down. There's the dive in. Deathmark gonna go out, but I think Nukeduck's gonna die. Slow comes down. Cortex got too deep. The ignite ticking away.
Oh, he got him. Wow.
Just enough damage from Nukeduck. Says thank you very much for the kill, and I'll take your red buff too.
That was beautiful. Remember also here in 4.5, the ultimate from Kha'Zix does not reduce the tower damage anymore, so he took the extra damage there, ended up dying. Very, very nice play by Nukeduck, and it's just what the NRP need. They need him to get going so he can just carry the game.
Alberto is going to come down bottom. Kevin has his flash available, so don't imagine that he'll be in too much trouble, especially since Alberto doesn't have his ultimate available. And again, the CC is not exactly what you would call impressive. Kevin just dashes off to Alberto, even turning around, and quick auto attack does decent amounts of damage to him. Not really any danger there for Kevin.
No, not the ideal gank here from Alberto. Just wanted to try and put some pressure. Maybe even force away a flash from Kevin. Could be he would just flash it and spotted him. They get some damage onto him though, and Solar Zero just continue the pressure. Is ahead in CS, but there's a good wave coming for Kevin. He can pick up and even things out. A lot of pink wards here though. Both defensive pink wards for Millenium are still up here. That's again the good thing about putting them so defensively, because NRP are not just gonna walk by and check them. And now actually Nukeduck gonna spot out Cortex, who also should have been spotting out the pink ward from NIP. Not sure, he seems to move towards the top lane.
Puts his own pink ward down, which now as an Evelyn, you're probably going to check that bush when you know someone has gone up there.
Oh, look at Kerp.
For now, Alberto waiting. Kerp is going to come up as well. They know there's no vision there for NRP because of that ward that Cortex has just put down. He's put that one off to the side, in range of the pink as well, so Kerp will be able to get rid of that one. In the end, Alberto took the long way around as well, so he didn't actually cross over Cortex and Kerp's path. No real action to be had on that front. So let's have a look down some of the items here then. That mid lane in particular, you see the Fiendish Codex plus the Seeker's Arm Guard coming out from Kerp early on. On the other side, Brutalizer was picked up first for Nukeduck and has now got the Cutlass as well.
Got the Cutlass as well. He needs the Blaze Run King, it's a big power spike for him. And yeah, of course, we see Kerp going towards the Outlaws. Very, very smart. So he's gonna completely destroy the combo from Nukeduck towards him, and should actually mean he can turn it around in these fights here. Or Nukeduck would at least have to then run away after the whole combo is used if Kerp times it properly. Also makes it harder to kill Kerp in a team fight, which is the thing we talked about here. Going into late game when there is hourglasses, Quicksilver Sash, everything, it becomes very hard for Zed to find the target in the team fight to actually kill.
Wandering back up, those pink wards still remain in the Death Brush in the top side of River and here on the corner, which Alberto will finally spot out. Him and Nukeduck can get rid of that one quickly. Alberto can carry on his merry way. Of course, the top turret did go down earlier on, so both Freeze and Mithy there got the added danger of having no turret in behind them. Kha'Zix, of course, they can spot a little bit easier going in unless he opens through that tri-bush where they've got the ward. In fact, they're all just going to be backing away now as that wave did go past the halfway point. Too dangerous to follow through.
Yeah, don't want to risk anything, don't want to use the summons. Mithy actually didn't have his flash, so in case something would have happened, he would have been the target to go for. So Zero getting a lot of damage to Kevin again, but Kevin doing really well, keeping up on farm. Should have a lot of gold actually, been in the lane for quite a while.
Yeah, 2,300 gold for Kevin, 2,200 as well for Zoro Zero, so plenty to spend here when they go back. And for now, they're just quite happy to get that from. There is that pink ward finally taken down. Took him an extra hit there to actually deal with that one. Well, that is all well and good. A move now to this mid lane. I'm going to try and put some pressure in. Still 1.5 minutes until the Dragon actually comes back into play. Good binding off, but Nukeduck already way behind the tower. Not exactly a position where he can follow through on that binding landing.
So Krypton is actually missing some minions up in the top lane now. Because he rotated mid and then decided to back off instantly, they couldn't actually get any damage onto the tower. But yeah, Dragon is going to be the next big thing here. Millenium, if they can pressure onto this mid lane, get a few hits onto someone like Nuclear before the whole fight starts, it's going to be very hard for NRP to actually fight it. On the other side, with Leona here, with someone like Alberto coming from the side, NRP can start it if they feel like they're in a good position.
There's Nuclear not missing any of that farm that comes through to him. Pretty much all freebies. We can see one thing I want to point out here on the Millenium side, boots for everyone across the map and a lot of pink wards.
A lot of pink wards here. And NRP actually also just boots for everyone, so they don't want the mobility. And yeah, as you just pointed out, a lot of pink wards. They want to make sure they can get full safety if they put all of them very defensively, but also they want them towards this dragon area here to deny vision, but also to spot out Alberto because he wants to try and flank around. If you just engage from the front with an Evelynn, it's too easy for the enemy team to just spot you running towards them. So you need to come in from the sides here. Zero would love to do the same as well. And with some good pink wards from Millenium, it will become very hard and actually very scary for Alberto because they can just turn with this LeBlanc and jump right in his face before he even notices it and just kill it.
Ward just went down there, tried to get it while he was still in vision, took them too long, and now the Dragon started off here by the ninjas in Pyjamas. Millenium off to the side, and actually Kevin is nowhere to be seen. Does have his ultra as they go in there. Cornex has managed to steal out the Dragon. This should not be happening. It's happened in this best of five far too often.
But in this case here, when they jump in, it's so 50-50 because it's so hard to do anything. Like 2 members jumping in, hitting only the Dragon, trying to jump out. Very well played though by Cornex again, stealing away the Dragon, and then Zero teleports top lane because they actually already rotated by Millenium here. Kevin base and then went straight towards top lane to push it out. Zero got all the farm though. Still, Dragon from Millenium is the thing we've seen before where NRP sets it up as opposed to actually get it, and then Cornex just steals it away. Did it twice already today in game 3, which actually was the game when Millenium won, or was it game 2? I might mix them up.
Millenium won game 2 and 3.
Yeah, but I mean the game where he stole the 2 dragons.
That was game 2 or 3 as well.
Thank you.
It has been some long games today. I think game 3, actually.
I believe so too.
Yeah. See right now, push down again. The duo's lining up this time in the bottom side of the map. The outer turret down to just above half HP. Beardson is, by the way, still holding on to a healthy CS lead, about 40. He currently has over Freeze. If we look at their items, both got that Bloodthirster in there. Of course, Lucian going to be headed more towards the Trinity Force. Both of them also got a Doran's Blade or 2 as well on top of that one. So don't see too much happening here in this bottom lane without any interference from the likes of Alberto and actually Cottonex, who's also on the bottom side.
Both junglers were near. Both of them moving towards the mid lane instead. We're getting to the point though where the laning phase are normally about to end and we start seeing more rotations as a team around the map. But both teams just seem happy to keep this going. I mean, both top laners are there farming against each other, dual lanes are there. Cottonex actually joining his dual lane. It's gonna be hard for them to set something up. They need a binding from Turi and he actually just backs away, doesn't even want to go for this one.
I think a little bit difficult to set that one up. Just want to touch on LeBlanc's items here. Kerp did pick up that Seeker's Arm Guard, but went straight into the DFG. So feels like the armor from that Seeker's Arm Guard going to be enough to protect him from Nuke and wants that extra ability to blow someone up if he can catch someone out.
And it's very scary, especially when you have something like Aurelia, something like Kha'Zix, and then a binding from Jerry onto one target. They can just all jump and they have so much single target burst now also with the DFG. And then they get the reset, of course, from Cottonex, who is level 11. It's very, very strong pickup for me, especially with the synergy he's going to get with the rest of the members with the single target CC and damage they got.
Kevin backing away as he pushed that wave out, going to get himself. Actually, I was going to say, Alberto walked over that pink ward, I think, there. Did finally go back and actually clear that one out. It's pretty much the obvious bush for a red side Evelynn to be checking there as he goes on through. Nuke did get that last blue buff as well for NMP, so that will be with both mid laners for this next fight. Kurt thinks he's being a bit secretive, but actually he's stood on top of a ward.
This is Q though from Nuke, so he doesn't actually get any damage onto Kerb, who's just... Both of them are just been happy farming away. I mean, Kerb will clear out the wave with his distortion and then just pop back out, and Nuke puts a shadow, clears the wave himself. Still no Blade on King. Should have the gold for it, however, if he decides to recall, and that's where we can start to see if he wants to split push already, if he wants to continue laning for a bit. We need to see once he actually recalls. Very soon.
Very soon. Soon enough. Nukduk coming back into that one. 175 to 186. So Nukduk getting that early lead there has just not surrendered it whatsoever. Alberto also coming down. No real opportunities onto Kevin, especially when both summoners are available for him. This might be different though. Kurt now headed down to that bottom lane. He goes the riverside. He will be spotted by the pink ward. In that brush. We'll see if they can actually get into them here. Smoke screen goes down again. It's probably going to be about J-Reed landing a binding in the end cup, realizing not much of a chance to get in there, and will again go back to farming.
But at least they try to set something up with the defensive pink wards again. He knew there was no vision all the way down, so he could move there. Had a binding landed, had NRP started a fight, he would have been there and turned it around, just instantly burst someone. Some damage onto Kevin here in the top lane. His tower is still there, so it makes it very hard for Alberto to actually set something up, especially also because Cotnex is nearby.
Just ping there towards the Baron. Not sure if they actually caught sight of Alberto. Well, Cotnex coming up to this top lane just in case Alberto does in fact get involved in that one. A lot of pings into the brush, thinking it was Kevin to go in there and face check that one, which Kevin will happily do. Throws down a ward, but there is no Evelyn. He's already backed away onto the golems.
No Evelyn. Ward probably wouldn't have done too much either to actually spot her out. Seems the Connect staying around, trying to set something up here. I'm not sure if he's expecting Alberto still to be around. He's been waiting for the last 20-25 seconds. Now he moves away from the top lane, bottom lane, farming away. Still Cretan extending his lead, actually doing really well together with J-Re.
Having a good time of it, that's for sure. As I said before, Bloodthirster now picked up that Zeal as well. Went Phantom Dancer the last time we saw him on Graves. Guessing that's where he's going to go again. We do have 25 seconds here until the next dragon of the game does come up. Getting Kerp low at least now, with such a low timer on that dragon, would be a good idea, but then you'd also argue maybe it's more useful for Alberto to be saving the likes of his ultimate for if Millenium do challenge for this dragon. Last time, of course, it was an NIP dragon on paper. Cotnex jumped in and stole it though.
And it's spawning now. Cotnex is running from base, Kevin is running from base, Sora Zero's up in the top lane, teleport is ready. Nobody actually was there on time to start it. NIP decided to back away. Might just want to look for a few hits onto Curb, as you talked about yourself, before they feel confident enough starting it. Cretan took a bit of damage, but he got his buff first, so will be able to sustain it up once the minions actually get to him. And now Cotnex moving towards this bottom lane once again. If they get a kill here on NIP, they can go straight towards the dragon.
Well, the bullet was used there, the binding comes out, doesn't quite land it there. We see the difference in kills and assists across the board. 2-2. There's a, you know, these stats are always going to be fairly close, considering how long these games have gone with, I'd say, fairly low kills across four games.
Very low in all games. You're 100% correct. I mean, these are not the two teams who just do insane early game or mid-game action in all the games. They play very passive towards the late game. So we get, you know, a few kills. This time around we got 4 kills in 24 minutes, but we have to say, both the junglers are really trying to set something up. It's just never really happening again. We are so far into the laning phase, it's very rare we actually have this long of a laning phase. And it just becomes even harder to set something up. And that's why when both junglers are there, nothing actually happens. And they need someone like Curb or Nukdog to move to a side lane to start something if they want to kill a target.
Oh, they're going to go in Cretan, stepping forward, then he played landing, but a quick black shield this time will actually stop them. And actually they're going to turn it around. There is the damage coming back. Cretan is going to go low. J-Re's actually lower though. Alberto tries to get in, but now it's Cotnex jumping out to freeze. Irelia there as well. They can't push through because of that exhaust, but now they've locked up Alberto. He's going to go down. Kevin gets that kill. Nukduk has come in as well, and all of a sudden, all the players down in the bottom lane.
Everyone, teleports came in, the junglers were there, starting the fight. Only the minions came in, binding onto Sora Zero.
Oh, he's not going to survive this one. Cotnex will pick that one up, and that is 2 men down for NIP. And look at the spawn time is already 40 seconds there on Zoro Zero. They turn around. This is going to be their dragon.
And it's been the same in so many games now, where whenever we actually get the fights, Millenium, they do so well in them. They get some kills, get an objective. NIP, man, they set something up, countered by Millenium instantly. 3 dragons for them, 2 kills as well. Millenium looking very strong in this game.
Now, waiting, I was going to say setting a trap, but as they scan there, they spot the ward was already in position. So with that one all kicking off and going in Millenium's favor, let's have a look at the gold. First of all, Zhonya's Hourglass was picked up. but they're all sat on a large amount of gold right now to be going home and spend. Look at that, 3K on Creatine, 1700 on the support, 14 on the jungler, 18 on the top laner. That's a lot of items going to be coming out when Millenium go back.
Yeah, and again, we've talked about how late game-wise, Millenium been such a strong team. This time around, Nukedog, who is he going to kill? He's not going to kill LeBlanc anymore, that's the Sonius. We actually see the early magic resist now for Creatine. He can build it into the Quicksilver Sash, remove the ultimate from Nukedog, making it even harder for him to kill anyone. And it's just going to be the same situation as in Game 2 where NIP, well, NIP was ahead in that game. But then they couldn't actually split push, got into teamfights and were just a lot weaker, the game got extended, and Millenium won it. This time around though, Millenium are actually ahead in the early, or in the mid game, with a very strong teamfight comms. So it looks very good for them, and at the moment they should feel very confident.
To be honest, they look pretty confident the way that they grouped up and had to go there down in the bottom lane, moving straight into Dragon. Kerp stepping forward, Mithy and Free saying no, don't want any of that. I'll just back away completely. Meanwhile, in that top lane, we're not going to be seeing the two of them going head to head as Kevin doing a lot of damage here onto Zorazero. He's got Randuin's and Trinity Force now. Decided not to use his Randuin's there, which actually would have allowed him a lot more damage out onto Zorazero.
Maybe could have forced away the ultimate, but Zorazero used the playthrough King to escape. Freeze now in the mid lane needs to be careful.
He's going to go fully in. DFG was used, but the rest of the combo not really connecting onto him. And it's all because of that flash that Freeze used. Didn't want any part of that. And now they stack up here to have a go on this mid turret. Already the minions gone though. Don't want to be tanking that up at this stage. 27 minutes into the game, and it's a 4,000 goal exactly lead that Millenium have. 2-1 up in turrets, still level on the 3-3 at kills though.
Notice how Nukedog was down the bottom lane before to split push. Millenium didn't care. Millenium just moved 4 members to mid lane, tried to set up something on Freeze, and then tried to push down the tower, so they forced Nukedog to move away, to move up there, and potentially defend if Millenium had stayed around. So they didn't even care about him split pushing. It could still be an issue. I mean, the one-on-one between him and Kerb could be the decider of this one, unless Millenium want to send someone else down to try and stop Nukedog if he gets in the position where he can actually split push far enough up.
See, Trinity Force as well. 4 frees on that last back, so that's definitely painful if you get on the wrong side of him. Last Whisper as well, just a little bit earlier on, picked up for Nukedog. Silver Sash for Graves just before. So again, they move back off into more of a passive farming. I say passive farming. They've got 3 men pushing up this mid lane, but I don't think they're going to be able to get too close to that turret. You see the hate spike. Nukedog able to just clear that out quicker than they can get any hits on the tower.
Yeah, and NIP really needs Nukedog to stay with the team in order to have enough wave there. Kerb though, jumping in every time. See if there's a chance to land a few hits. The binding from Jerry missed here. Kevin been taking control of this lane up here on top. We saw him before forcing Zorazero away. And as long as those two can just keep fighting each other until we actually get a winner between it, we're just going to see more action between the 4 people here in the mid lane against each other. It's going to be more important.
Yep, auto attack here and there onto that turret. Kerb obviously safe pretty much to go for that. He can just dive straight out with the distortion. We've got 2 minutes until the next dragon, and well, the way this game's been going, pretty obvious that is probably going to be the next time that we see these two teams skirmish, if even then at all. Well, you can understand it. It's a best of 5 down to the final game for promotion into the LCS Summer Split. Mistakes, they've been made so far, there's no doubt about that, but this is not the time to make them. It's a good tower pickup by Millenium, though.
It's not the time to make mistakes, but it's not the time either to play too passive and pretty much give the entire map, give the late game to a team like Millenium, because the games before where NIP gave them the late game, they took it, and they should have won the last game. We talked about how one big mistake gave the whole thing for NIP. But this game, trying to do the same, taking control of the map, got a good goal lead here. 1 minute for the Dragon. Instead though, Kerb rotated top lane, Creatine and Jerry down to the bottom lane. Nothing's gonna come from it. Everyone just backing away here. Dragon is gonna be the next big thing.
I like the fact that Millenium have these defensive pink walls still up there, so they know that Alberto's not going to be flanking around the back of them. They can stay a little bit further pushed up these lanes. And Kerb, honestly, he's causing them a few problems. We saw him there just a couple of moments ago hanging out in the top side of NIP's jungle. And They know that they have to be real careful about what he can do. Here's Zoro and Kevin having a bit of exchange. That's a lot of damage instantly out from Zoro.
Yeah, good damage from Zoro, but the thing about Curb here, the way he's playing it, just by the fact he's staying in the mid lane, doesn't want to go to a side lane where NukeDog will be, and he doesn't actually want to try and one-on-one him at all. He's staying and trying to get hits onto the rest of NIP members every time he has the chance with his team, and forcing NIP then to be defensive. And it's been working because NukeDog got all the items he needs to start split pushing, but he's just been forced to stay in the mid lane to try and wave clear all the time.
So Dragon is up now. Last one, of course, did go over to Millenium after they had that fight down on the bottom lane. A little bit slow to get there this time around, but they do finally group up with 4 men. Kevin, of course, got his teleport so he can join in from that top side. Zoro Zero is actually recalling, and there's a ward there, so NIP see that this is happening. However, they cannot do a thing about it. Nope. That's another Dragon going over to Millenium. 4 out of 4 now for them, and a 5,000 gold lead.
Doing so well. NIP knew instantly they couldn't go for this one as soon as Millenium started up the Dragon, and they didn't want to wait there either because they didn't want to risk Millenium engaging onto them. Millenium is very, very strong teamfight wise, and of course also being ahead helps so much for them. Look at Cotnex here. Picked up a last whisper now. His damage is insane as well. If he gets onto someone like Freeze, he will just tear through him.
Yeah, I mean, Kerp and Cotnex together just roaming.
You're dead.
You don't want to get involved if those two are there, that's for sure. See that actually Alberto is waiting by this top side now, seeing if he could maybe get in onto Kevin, but he himself got Zephyr, Randuin's Trinity Force. He's not the kind of player you really want to mess with at this stage of the game.
And look how fast he's moving around. If you don't lock him down with some CC, then he's just going to kite you around. It's going to be so hard to catch on to him. Mephido moving here with his jungler Alberto. They actually want to try and do something up here in the top lane. Kevin needs to be careful. Standing with it. NukeDog is there too. 4 members from NIP. They need this kill.
Let's see if they get it. Be impressed if Kevin can escape this one. 4 men coming his way. Already gone back. That was literally the biggest letdown of the game so far. Now, though, they are going to go in there. Kevin at the halfway point. What's he going to do? Blade of the Ruin King was used onto him. He's going to actually dash off and then flash away. And Kevin does manage to escape it. 1 versus 4. Incredible stuff. Great moves, and then he's just so fast afterwards. Nothing NIP could do to catch on to him. And that was 4 members. It means in the mid lane, Freeze is left to defend, and Kreaton going very aggressive. And they put the exhaust down there onto Freeze. He's going to throw out the Culling. That'll clear out the minions and stop them actually pushing through. Meanwhile, NukeDog is going through onto Kreaton, but he manages to get away from it. The Quicksilver Slash stops that death mark from doing the damage. Yeah, just completely removes the death mark. So NukeDog also removed the Ignite actually from him. Kreaton managed to survive here. Had to use both his summoners though. What? He stays alive and doesn't give any more kills over to the Zed at this point, which I think Millenium will be very, very happy with. The question is, what comes next for them now? See both the top and the bottom waves being pushed out. Mid is pretty much reset bang in the middle there. Jerry just coming around from that one. We are seeing a couple more items coming in, so let's have a look at them. The Randuin's Omen finished off for Cotnex. Godfrey when he's diving into the middle of them. Last Whisper for Freeze's Lucian. Black Cleaver also has done for NukeDog on Zed. So again, for NukeDog now, he needs to go towards something like Guardian Angel so he can actually go into the team fights without risk of just being popped instantly by Millenium here. Curb especially got a lot of damage if he gets onto a target. We haven't actually seen it yet though. I mean, I don't think he used the DFG yet. He did. Oh, he did once, yeah. Onto Freeze, who just flashed. Who just flashed away, so the rest of the combo didn't hit with it. And you've got a feeling as well, even though Millenium are in the lead in this one, the way that that last game ended, the mistake at the end that cost them the game, means that they are going to be so much more careful about this game. Especially Kreaton. I mean, you don't want to do it twice. I don't expect him to do it again. I mean, he's been playing solid this game. His laning phase was very, very strong. And then with the Quicksilver Sash, he could survive the burst from NukeDog as well, coming in beforehand. And he's just pushing up here. The rest of Millenium is with him, except for Kevin in the middle lane with Teleport. Look for the binding here from J-Ree, and then just see Kevin fly into the face of whoever is being binded and do the full combo. Just diving straight in there to try and clip some health away from Zed or Lucian. In the end, though, that damage not landing for them. We've got 2 minutes here until the next dragon comes into play. Curb is just waiting by that wolf camp. Not actually spotted by anyone. Cottonex is there as well, and this is the two-man team that we were talking about earlier, especially with Cottonex going for that last whisper as well. Yeah. A lot of damage, a lot of assassination potential between the two of them. Credit to NIP though, they've not been caught out yet by that duel.
True, they tried to set something up in the top lane, didn't work for them, some very good moves from Kevin. And then the mid lane, Nuke tried to kill Kraton, and that's been the action the last few minutes here. The last dragon, of course, went straight to Millenium. NIP was not in a position or didn't feel confident of fighting for it. Instead, though, just farming away. And as we've talked about in the other games, Millenium are more than happy to just farm. Like, they don't need to finish the game now. They can go to the 50-minute mark and they can be happy with their comp.
Also, the later you go, the more that mistakes cost you. We should note. And as we've seen from that last one as well, I think it was 70-second spawn time when Kraton actually ended up dying there on the steps of the NIP base. This time around, no mistakes. The name of the game for both these teams. And you can expect that a fifth game in a best-of-5 that's 2-2 for what's on the line here. I mean, this is half a year. This is a split's worth of professional gamer, you know. This is
a chance of getting to the World Championship as well.
Exactly.
I mean, you play for everything here. It's not just a tournament where you get some prize money. Like, you play for everything as a professional League of Legends player. You want to be in the LCS. That's how it is. If you want to get in here, it's where all the best teams is. This is where everyone is watching, and also with the chance to qualify for the World Championship. So both teams, of course, playing very careful for now. Still an issue for NIP. They don't really want to go full late game against this Millennium comp.
Binding comes through there was between Zed and Lucian. One of those two would have been a juicy target. They are going to go towards Kevin. They do manage to lock him up for now, but have they got the damage? He actually jumped away. The rest of Millennium now coming in from this one. Cornex going very, very low. But have they got the damage to finish anyone off? No, they don't, and they're not going to chase it either.
Nuke decided not to use his ultimate here. Sora Zero still got his ultimate. Dragon is still alive. Jerry with ultimate, good binding on the Sora Zero. Just get a few hits. A lot of ultimates used, but still some very key ones left. Look for Nuke now to try and go towards someone like Kraton.
Dragon is alive. Nip are making a move for it now. Moving down the backside. It's going to be J-Ree to throw Dark Bindings in there and see who he can catch. You see they're backing away ever so slightly, so scared of Cornex making his move over. In the end, though, it's Curb that goes through. A little bit too early on that one. He did good damage to it. That just helped NIP in the end. Alberto smiting that one away. That's the first dragon out of 5, actually, that goes over to Ninjas in Pyjamas. Still leaves them almost 6,000 gold behind. Now they're going to make a move onto this mid turret. I don't think Millennium are really in a position
one more
to end it. One more will do it. They actually go towards Freeze, but again, not got the damage there.
Got the hit though, Lucian then dashing away. Again, this is why Lucian is such a good champ. I mean, you got wave clear, you can push the towers, and at the same time, you do so well in the entire game. So they got the tower here, got the dragon. Very good for NIP to get some objective gold they needed. Consult all the members here. And Millennium couldn't actually get engaged on. They needed either Connex to jump in or Binding to land, or of course Kevin to jump in, but Kevin wasn't there in position. Connex, I don't think his ultimate was ready yet. After the first fight, they couldn't actually go in for it.
That's the most fun you can have, clearing waves.
Cost half the mana pool though.
That's true. 2-0-1, he's actually got that Guardian Angel there we just saw on top of his Trinity Force, Randuin's Omen and Zephyr. Kevin definitely will be more comfortable, and here we see maybe, possibly the start of the dance around Baron.
The Baron dance again. Connex, he's gonna go for his Guardian Angel as well. So gonna be the same for the front line of Millennium. Both will have Guardian Angel to jump into the face of NIP, tank them for a long time, and even if they should go down, we'll come back up and just be more annoying. And it means for NIP, they need to try and either do the same with Alberto and Sora Zero onto the back line of Millennium, or they have to kite fight. Like, get the kill, keep kiting backwards, keep cutting backwards, but that's very, very hard when you're against something like LeBlanc, for instance, who's gonna catch someone out of position and just burst them down.
But we do see more Banshee's Veils being picked up over on the side of Ninjas in Pyjamas. Zoro Zero has one. We have one in the jungle as well for Alberto, and I'm assuming more going to be coming across as well. along with Guardian Angel. So not going to be easy to blow someone up. He's got to pick his target very, very carefully here, Kurt.
Very carefully. The same goes for Nugdog, of course. Like both assassins here, it's going to be hard for them. With exhaust as well on both sides. It's going to be hard to actually get in there, get down the target you want. And also with Kerb, since he went for the DFG, he's a lot of focus on his upfront like burst damage. He could have gone for an Fiends and Death Cap instead and had more overall damage longer in fights, but went for the damage early on again. We talked about how it's good synergy with something like Kha'Zix to get him this early kill so he can get a reset and move on.
So more wards cleared out. Kerb again setting up a bit of a trap on this top side. No one really spotted. It's Kevin. Just
have the Baron a little bit.
Just test out how squishy the Baron is at this point, and I think realizing, okay, can't quite solo him just yet. And Kerb still waits up there, playing the patience game. Sadly for him, Leona, who was over the other side of the Golem camp wall, is just recalled.
I have
Alberto's not close either.
Has Sora Zero even been in this game?
Who?
Sora Zero. Has he been in the game? Oh. It's a long day. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen him. Like, there's never been a chance for him to do anything. I mean, he's 0-1-0, not been part of anything. Only 3 kills. So.
I think the answer you're looking for is yes, he's got the most farm in the game, which kind of tells you how he's really played this one. Farm, 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 farm. Got himself Sunfire Cape, Randuin's, Blade of the Ruin King, and that Banshee's Veil. I mean, we're 42 minutes in again, which I'm going to go ahead and say is pretty much still early game between these two teams.
Sadly, it is true.
I don't know, man. This has been a good one so far. Binding goes through. Nugdog just sidestepping that one. And NIP saying, okay, we need to get in there and hold some control of the Baron area. They literally just force their way in, make sure that Millenium go back and drop all their wards. Then they're going to walk away. And I'm guessing that Millenium are going to do exactly the same here pretty soon. There was the Banshee's Veil popped.
So first, though, they wanted Codnex to go back to base, pick up his Guardian Angel. Same style again, jump into the face, he can just roll in. Kevin though needs to be a little bit careful. He's the ulti from Miffy. Yeah, and that's it.
What are you gonna do, really, against Kevin? Yeah, they throw the Solar Flare his way. He's got a Guardian Angel, he's got a ton of resistances and health in there. And that Black Shield, as we've seen once again.
Yeah, ton of tenacity as well.
Yeah,
I mean, just locking him down.
That's true, yeah.
So hard in a team fight where it's gonna be like 40% if there's 4 members around him, so gonna be very, very hard to actually lock down Kevin, which also what we saw. But the ultimate from Miffy, of course, here in the late game is gonna be up fairly soon, so he should be able to start it. Connects though, there's actually no ward, but NIP is pinging him out, so they know he's in there. Got the Guardian Angel, however, so even though he should be caught out of position, should be able to survive or at least respawn up and buy time for his team to come in and help. Sora Zero though, fighting some more minions in the bottom lane. Alberto trying to clear out the top. Millenium can do a very fast rotation towards this tower here and just force some damage onto it and force the teleport from Sora Zero.
And they're going to try and get in around the back here. We see the talisman is going to be popped, but already Nugdog and Alberto had stepped away. But that is a forced tower there taken by Millenium.
Yeah, very good rotation. Sora Zero in the bottom lane. Wouldn't be able to join in time. Just straight up there, goes straight for the tower. 20 seconds on the Dragon. Baron, of course, is still up. Let's see if Millenium want to go straight for Baron here, or one actually goes towards the Dragon, pick it up. Kerb jumped over the wall, trying to set up a trap. And there we go.
That was slightly strange. They jumped in. I think it was a bit of indecision.
So
that is so very fast. We see a TP coming down onto the bottom side. Zoro Zero leaving that bottom lane to get involved with the fight. He is at the front, but the Baron's already gone down. Millenium picked that one up. Are they going to look for the fight? There is actually the jump in. I'm not sure that Mithy really wants that one. They're going to blow him to pieces. It's J-Ree that gets the kill in the end. Bit of a mistake, I feel, there from Mithy to go in for that. And now they're going to try and track down the rest. Cotton X goes in. They're going to go for Zoro Zero. He uses his ultimate to get back to the tower. And that will be a 1-for-0 with the Baron. And the Dragon, yeah, probably is going to follow.
Well, again, Millenium, though, controlling the map. First they rotate top lane, take a tower, no response from NIP. And then because they got full vision down here, set up the trap. First that Baron just jump over, take it down so fast. The teleport from Zoro Zero couldn't come in time. And NIP was not in a position to stop it anyhow. So Millenium now, full control of this game. It's been pretty much the same throughout the entire game, actually. After they turned around the gang in bottom lane and took the Dragon, Millenium has just been in control, and NIP with no response. They need to hope for a mistake from Millenium, like we saw in the last game again.
Stepping forward, and look at Kevin. He's right up the front there, doesn't even care of the damage coming his way. Pretty much soaks up the entire culling. Nukdog can still do some good damage to him there though. Creatine here, he was the one, of course, that got caught out on the steps in the last game that allowed Ninjas in Pyjamas to push straight back to the massive spawn timers and win the game to bring it all the way to this final game of the best of 5. Right now, Millenium, 1,000 gold. That'd be good for NIP, I suppose, at this stage. A little bit more than that at 11,000 gold. 45 minutes in, still only 4-3 kills, a recurring theme from this best of 5,
yeah.
All of them being low scoring.
It's been a lot about farming, a lot about searching for mistakes by the enemy team before you went in for something, and very safe play all around throughout the entire series. Nobody really wanted to take any chances with this one. NIP will pick up a turret, very big wave coming with them here, still very, very far behind. And again, if you notice Nukdog here, whenever a fight is about to start, he actually doesn't use his ultimate because there's no target for him. Is he going to go on the Guardian Angel tanks? Is he going to go on the Sonya's Outlaws? Is he going to go on the Quicksilver Slash? I mean, he actually needs to go and kill Jerry in the fights. It's the target for him, but then from there on, you've invested so much from the Z, he's not going to be able to bring much else.
One problem that they obviously had that last game was the unwillingness to tank the turrets, which is why Creatine ended up getting caught out because the rest of the team have backed off. There's a Thorn Mail now from Kevin, and we saw in that last push that he is the one that's basically going to have to grow up here and stand right in the way. It's Kirk going in on towards Freeze. The DFP was fight now. They're going to get this one. They are going to try and fight. Humberto comes from the side. There is a Zonya's used by Kirk. Can they follow up on him? Millenium actually disengaging to back away. Nukdog actually jumps back through to the rest of his team. No kills.
Still ultimate on Nukdog. He couldn't use it. Sword Zero with his ultimate as well. They tried to lock down Kirk. He used the Sonyas, and then from there on, NIP didn't feel like they could actually go in for the fight. Everyone disengaged again.
No, when that Zonya's is down, that's the time you got to get Kirk. That's the time when Nukdog has to get in and kill off Kirk.
They just have to try and go.
He's far too mobile, I think, to actually do the follow-up damage onto him anyway. Then we see once again this turret going low. Let's see if Kevin actually does step forward from this one. Gonna wait, take the safe route, wait for those minions. There's no solar flare here for Minty, but that is coming up here in just a second. Is that turret gonna go down quick enough? Yes, it is. They pick up another one. 7th one of the game here for Millenium.
And it's simply so passive play by NIP. They needed a solar flare for the engage, didn't have it, so they just gave up another tower. It is ready now though, they have to go for something. They need to try, otherwise it's too easy for Millenium to just get some damage onto this tower, back out again, back in, and I fear though NIP is actually at the point now where, as we talked about, they need a mistake from... Wow, that's a lot of damage.
That is the combo that they were looking for. Actually, they've got into this one. Deathmonk's going to go on towards Kerb. That may be enough to pop him and kill him. It will be. That's the first man down, but they're going to keep going. Cornex was basically fighting 4 of them there at the back, and now Millenium, with that kill, are going to be pushing through. Freeze, of course, died. Kerb is down. Are they going to try and go for the win here? Nukdog has still got his Guardian Angel. They're going to go towards Cornex. Millenium disengage and run away.
And run away here, trading 1 for 1, but Inhibitor went down as well. 2 of them are now gone. Millenium can base, wait for Kerb, and just go straight towards the top lane and do the exact same thing here. Kerb managed to go down actually. Nukdog got a kill onto him, but then we saw Cotnex. Again, the Kha'Zix here in late game, he's just standing between multiple members of NIP with the Guardian Angel. He's so tanky, gets a kill as well onto Freeze, and then he just jumps out of the fight. It is very, very scary for him.
Well, look at him between Kevin and Cotnex. There's 2 Thornmails, 2 Randuins, 2 GAs, more Malmortis in there as well for Cotnex. Like, you can't really do a lot against that.
And as again, it's always one of the issues when you bring so much physical damage. Once you get to the late game part as well, and all the armor items are there from Millenium, it's so hard to kill anyone. I mean, everyone is so tanky because of all this armor, so generally you will always get outscaled if you bring a lot of physical. And then at the same time, when you bring the champions here, or when you bring like something like a Zed who can't actually go towards any of these targets, it's just very hard for NIP to do anything.
Millenium gonna go now towards the top lane, and well, it makes sense. That's the only lane with an inhibitor turret, and an inhibitor itself still there, and this is the hope.
Oh, the trap.
This is the hope for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
not the guy you want.
No, Kevin's going to come in, puts a ward down, and they get spotted. There is the trap pretty much done with. Actually, they're split here a little, Millenium. But NIP also splitting off. Zoro going to get caught out of position. They're going to go for the binding inland. A lot of damage on towards Jerry. It's a good call-in from the back as well. But do they want to keep fighting? Kevin's turned around. Alberto going to get locked up here. No, not quite, as the ulti from Graves came through. But they've killed Kerp now. Kevin trying to chase through. Nuke just juke straight through them. And they're going to keep chasing. Freeze going on towards Jerry. Nuke still has his GA available for this one. Carnex also got a Guardian Angel. Zenith's blade doesn't quite land. So 1 for nothing. Long fights with very little casualties.
Yeah, but while Nuke again, it's hard for him to find the right targets. He actually finds them here. There was no Sonya's this time on Kirby. He had to use it earlier. Nuke went for him, drew all the attention from Millenium, and then he just popped back to his shadow after he killed Kirby. Beautiful play by him. I mean, he's playing this Zed so well. It's just so hard for him to actually do anything in the fights. But he's finding the openings. Like, he killed Kerb twice now. The rest of NIP then just need to be able to back him up and get some kills by himself.
We've just seen there, Alberto not really able to fight against those super minions, losing a lot of HP. Some fight.
It's the same story for Evelyn.
Yeah.
I mean, game 2 where he picked Evelyn, it was the same thing. He got to late game, and he became pretty much a non-factor, like when it came to the team fights, and it's been the same here. He's not able to do anything. It's all about Nuke finding the kill and then Freeze trying to stay alive in the backside. But they're starting Baron. Millenium is here though, except for Kerb.
A little bit dangerous for them as Zoro dives through the middle. There is Creatine going to be focused and he goes down. Alberto gets the kill, but look at the super minions onto the Nexus turrets there. They're maybe going to take this one down. They do, but not before Zoro is able to TP through. That will stop the second one from going down, and now it's Millenium that go for the Baron.
Kerb is coming in here, joining the team. Zoro is very far away. No ultimate on Nuke, no ultimate onto Alberto. They need to back away and give this Baron over to Millenium.
Well, they've got the vision on it, and Millenium don't fancy the fight. That is a massive culling coming out there from Freeze. It's gonna force Kerb to back away once again. Didn't use his Zonyas there, crucially, so he's still gonna have that next time they come up to fight. They've all backed away, and I say all of them. Only Kerb really backed away from that. Millenium here need to hold NIP away from it. Interestingly enough, they're gonna spot Zoro here in the bottom lane. He's got no TP, he had to use that. They can have a 5v4 if they weren't already recalling.
That's a terrible call by me though for NIP to back away. Actually managed to defend the Baron here. Very good calling from Freeze, hitting every single one onto Kerb, so he had to back away here. Wisely, well played by NIP, staying, denied it, but now they need to be careful.
Wow. Freeze losing 3/4 of his health. That is really bad news. He's going to have to back away and see if he can lifesteal close enough up to full HP, taking the raids. The super minions going up. Both inhibs, though, have respawned, but NIP are caught in this hard decision now. They have to protect those inhibs, but they also don't want the Baron to be going over to Millenium. There's one super minion hammering away now on that bottom inhibitor. We can see they've already left for that. They are going to go in there. Will they be able to stop it though? Actually, it's gone very low. Is he going to fall?
Minions!
Yes, it does. The inhibitor goes down, and Baron's already at half HP. Alberto's in the top lane, but no one else is close. Millenium take the Baron.
So NIP actually went back to try and defend inhibitor, still lost it. Gave up the Baron here for Millenium. This time they actually decided to back away from it. Didn't feel like they could actually fight. Millenium now, Baron, inhibitor is gone. They can go for the mid inhibitor. It is open. And only one tower up in the top lane, and only one Nexus turret remains. Again, this is really Millenium's game to lose. I mean, as long as they don't make a mistake, they should be winning this game. However, we have to give credit to Nuke and NIP. They've been trying their best to win these fights, even though it's been an uphill battle, and Nuke been finding the right targets and also came out alive every single time.
Yeah, didn't even have his GA pop there. Nope. He juked back through their own jungle. Now Millenium got to move up to that second open inhibitor as a group of 5 as soon as Cornex actually gets there. Across the board, ultimates are ready. Summoner spells are pretty much all up as well. Just a flash from Jerry and a flash from Alberto is really what's missing across both sides. Will Millenium go in? Look at Alberto wanting to get that flank position in here so that he can get a good 5-man ulti across the entire Millenium team. Guardian Angels are up for a lot of these players as well. Connex there at the front, Millenium, Kevin also got his Guardian Angel up. Same goes for Nuduk and Zoro0 as Kirp comes in. It's Connex that's going to tank the entire cull in there as well. Loses not even a quarter of his HP. Now they go back in. Obviously don't really need the minions here. They want to get rid of those Banshee's Veils as quickly as they possibly can though. This next fight is going to be long and extended like we've been used to seeing. Will it be Millenium that come out on top of it? They've got a considerable gold lead as they a little bit scared here, I think, to move forward. Kirp is the obvious.
Look here, waiting for the big wave on the top and coming in, so that's going to get a lot of damage onto the tower. As long as they keep NIP in this mid area, the minions will do the job.
Those minions are getting ever closer. Millenium moving one step closer as well towards the inhib itself. Zoro0's Banshee's Veil gets taken down as well. Freeze just trying to hold Kevin away from things. Well, that inhib is going to slowly but surely take some damage. Nuduk goes incredibly low there, and the inhibitor is going to go down.
Got the inhibitor. Nuduk actually went very low from the minions coming in, and now big wave up here in the top lane. Millenium quickly rotating, trying to get a lot of damage. They could potentially take this tower. Decides to play it safe and back away. Don't want to take any chances.
Not got much HP left. A couple of hits there should be able to do it. They're trying to fight off super minions as well in the rest of the base. 2 more hits, I think, from Creaton. Funnily enough, he's probably not going to be the one that stands forward, considering how that last game ended for them. Another Dark Binding comes through.
He needs to go.
They're still not being able to take this one. Kevin moves in to take the damage. There is Kirp. He says, right then, just screw it, I'm going to do this. Dives in, picks up the final inhibitor turret of the game. Are they going to be able to finish off the inhibitor itself? Super minions are pushing in the bottom lane. There's a big wave of super minions now coming through onto that second and only Nexus turret here for the ninjas in Pyjamas. Millenium so close to victory here as the inhibitor goes down to half. They're going to go towards Creaton. There is the damage coming in. Good black shield, and now Zoro0 has to back away. Connex down to less than half. Alberto is going to be able to walk off, but now Zoro0 flashes. Mithy is going to fall. It's now 5 versus 4. Millenium go onto the Nexus turret themselves. Nuduk does come across. He's going to go for Creaton, but he's dead. As Zoro0 gets his GA pop, that is going to be game here for Millenium. They get another kill. The Nexus turrets are already down. There's a shutdown coming in for Kevin at the end, and only the Nexus stands. And there it is. Millenium win the game 3-2 and secure their spot in the LCS Summer Split.
This is so well deserved by Millenium here. They played so well today. Only game 1 was bad by them. Everything else, after they got the whole, after they extended the game in game 2, after they got past the whole early mid-game lead for NIP and got to late game, they just won out. And then here game 3, game 4, and game 5, even in the game 4 which they lost, they were in control and just been in control ever since. They've just been performing really well, and NIP didn't have an answer for all these team fights.
And you have to feel for NIP as well in this scenario, you know, losing out in the spring promotion. This game was so much closer for them. They'll still be ruining missed opportunities from game number 2, where they will have feel that they should have won that one and had 3 game points. But in the end,